Good deal.
Yeah, here we go. All right, can you see me and you on your screen?
Yeah, I can see both of us.
All right, sweet, man. You ready to knock into this thing?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, man. Welcome back to the Jameson on the Rocks podcast, everybody. Today I have with me Mr. Branche from the Plains. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm stoked, man. I'm glad we could get this done via Zoom. I'm glad you reached out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Of
man.
course.
When I saw you follow and everything, I was like, man, from Auburn, man. You don't see too many of them.
Yeah. It's rare nowadays.
But I have seen some coming through. You guys, the Stews. It seems Auburn has a good little scene going, man.
Yeah, we're trying to make it.
Love to hear that, dude. So tell me how you got started playing music. Tell me kind of how the band got together, like who's in the band, you guys' ages, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course. So
Fire away.
So we originally started, this was spring of last year, or spring of this year, sorry. I was jamming around with Preston Hall and Wyatt Griffith from the Stews, two good friends, jamming with them. And they were like, hey, we have this fraternity brother who's like damn good at guitar. You need to link up with him. So that was Nick. And I sent Nick a text. We got together, we jammed a couple times. And I asked him, I was like, would you be down to like really try to send this thing, try to get a band together? And he was like, definitely. But, you know, it's hard to find a bassist and it's even harder to find a drummer.
You're right.
So fortunately, I had a friend from high school that I used to play music with. His name is Coleman Galbraith. Okay. And he was at Georgia College at the time. And he was thinking about transferring to either Auburn or Georgia. And I texted him and told him like, hey, I found this other great guitarist. You know, I'm not trying to sway your decision, but it'd be awesome for you to join us in Auburn. And he did end up coming to Auburn, obviously.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah. And so it was us three. We were left without a drummer going into the summer. So I hit up my friend from Columbus, who is home for the summer, Charlie Bedoin. He's in Athens. I think he plays in a couple bands in Athens. Awesome. But we had a show soon. And I'll tell you about the show. It's hilarious.
Please do.
But we got him to play drums for us, and we would just kind of jam around in Auburn. So we were like, all right, you know, we have 10, 12 songs. Let's try to plan a show. Nobody really knows who we are. So we ended up playing at my apartment complex.
No way.
Yeah, we did. I think we got paid like $400 or something.
I can't believe you guys got paid, bro.
Yeah. We got paid, and it was mostly just like we were just jamming out. We played. I think we played like five covers that everybody knows, and then like 6 songs that like absolutely nobody knew, but we all knew somehow. Somehow we all knew. But so Charlie was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna have to go back to Athens here soon, and of course, as soon as that happened, I emailed 1716 in Auburn after we played that gig. And I was like, hey, is there any way that we could play a gig? It's summer. Not really a lot of people are there. So I just wanted to give it a shot. Yeah. So the dude emailed me back and said, yeah, you know, we have a date on like a Tuesday night in June. Nobody was in Auburn. Nobody was in Auburn. So I was like, yeah, that'll work. And then I like texted in our 3-person group chat, which was me, Coleman, and Nick, like, hey, we can play the show. We don't have a drummer. So
booking shows without a drummer.
Yeah. Very unprofessional, but
I love it.
So there's a band out of Auburn called Supper Club, and they have a drummer that I know personally, Billy Pruitt. I DM'd him on Instagram, ended up getting on a phone call with him. And he said, hey, I'm sorry I can't play drums for you, but my cousin can, and he's good. He's really good. So, you know, I had to take his word. I mean, I need a drummer. So
bad.
Yeah, bad. So I called his cousin, who ended up being our drummer now, Mitch. And Mitch was like, yeah, dude, I'll play, like, whatever. And he came to Auburn for a jam sesh. And I was like, okay, yeah, this guy's pretty legit. He was like all-state jazz band in Alabama. He's serious. Like this guy can play.
He knows how to count stuff.
Yeah. He knows how to count and stuff.
Those guys are talented, man. Those jazz guys, man.
Absolutely. And I'm very fortunate that like he was able to join us instead of, you know, some average drummer who like just listens to music and just like knows how to play drums from listening to music. Like he's been trained to play like he's also a phenomenal musician as a whole. Like, I mean, he can play a bunch of different instruments, but So that's how the core four of us got together, and we've been together ever since June 10th.
Oh, really? That's not even that long, man. You guys are doing great for that amount of time.
Yeah. So June 10th was when we all four got together, and we've been able to play gigs and stuff. And Mitch is taking a gap year right now, kind of going back and forth between Birmingham and Nashville.
Okay.
Doing some like recording stuff with some mentor he's doing with up there. And then me, Nick, and Coleman are all at Auburn, and we're sophomores at Auburn. And Mitch is 1 year behind us. So all 19 and 18.
Wow, you guys are young, man. You guys are on the ball early. I love to hear
we
that.
We are.
You got a good jump on everybody. That's always a good. You guys should be peaking around senior year. You know what I mean? You should be doing good.
Yeah. We're having a good time.
Oh, yeah, man. So was there a general consensus of like, oh, we just want to start a band and play shows? Or was it like, oh, we want to make money, or like we want to do this for a living? Like, what's the kind of consensus of the band? You know what I mean?
So I think at first, I think this really still stands for us now. We all had music talents, but we were never able to show them off, the way we wanted to.
Okay.
And I always thought, I play guitar and I sing, and I never really knew that, I could sing the way I can, but I was able to sing songs that, and I never really tried to sing, and I was able to sing them, and my voice has just gotten progressively better.
Yeah.
But I think, the money plays a part of it, but I don't think all four of us ever lose sight of, we're doing it because we love doing it.
Absolutely. That's a good way to keep it.
Yeah. And I don't, money is a good thing to have on the side. And, it is, if we played some shows out in Oxford, that's a 5.5 hour drive. So, you're going to have to, get gas and stuff and, be able to pay for meals and stuff. So money does play a big part of it, but I think still going all the way back, to June when we were still trying to play for, over $450, $500, I don't even think any one of us were really concerned about the money at the time. We were just concerned about getting better.
Totally. Yeah. So that's kind of like the genesis of what you guys are.
Yeah.
But you're not doing anything for free necessarily either, or like losing money.
Yeah. We're not really doing anything like that. But like I say, we all still have the motivation and the drive to just really keep the goal of getting better all in the back of our heads. So
that's awesome, man. You put that really well. I guess my next question would be like, I guess I should start with this more, like what kind of genre would you consider you guys, or what's like the direction of the band musically before we get into the business?
A lot of bands will say this, we play a lot of everything. But I really do think we try to satisfy everybody's needs to an extent. You see a lot of bands that, classify themselves as like rock or jam band or funk, but we're covering all of that, and we're not having the extensive 16-minute long jams. Our jams are going to be, 6.5, 7 minutes max. But if we're going to play like a Kool and the Gang song, like Get Down on It, like we play Get Down on It.
Love that.
We are literally playing that song like how it is recorded.
That's hype, man.
Yeah. Cool. So a lot of our covers are played, has how the songs are recorded, but we might burst into another guitar solo, or me and Nick might just jam it out together.
Yeah, that's fun.
But our originals, so we have 4 originals right now. I would probably say 2 of them really follow a rock genre kind of deal. And then one kind of follows a funky, has the envelope filter, Qtron in it.
Yeah.
Kind of funky. And then one's kind of like a slower song.
Interesting.
But yeah, so we really do. I like to try to cover a lot of other genres, because if you're playing to a crowd, a bunch of people that might not like, the Black Sabbath genre, but like, but might like the funk genre a little bit more, you're able to satisfy everybody's needs during the show.
Dude, yes. I think that's so smart. I think, in my opinion, a lot of bands are making that mistake of being like super self-serving, I'm sure you guys have your favorite bands that you would love to just play the deep cuts all night. You know what I mean? Yeah. But would anybody in the crowd know them? Probably not. You know what I mean?
And it's actually funny that you bring that up. That was really hard for me to get over. Everybody in the band was kind of down for it. It was really hard for me to get over. I am a huge, huge, huge jam band like fanatic. Yeah. I love Widespread Panic. I love The Dead. I love String Cheese Incident. Like I love all those, and Fish. I love all those deep jam bands. And if if you were giving me the opportunity to go on stage and play for 3 hours and have these 20-minute long jams, I would absolutely be down to play.
Yeah.
But that was like, that was the hump for me to get over. It was the Wednesday of the week. And I was just, it was hard. But now that I see, we play these shows and I'm able to add, maybe 1 or 2 of these songs without jamming so long. And then being able to go into like Freaking Out the Neighborhood by Mac DeMarco, which a ton of people love that song. And I do. And I've grown to love it because I see that people love that song. Mm-hmm. And so seeing the crowd like really respond to these like songs that maybe I might not want to hear, or Coleman might not want to play, or Mitch might not want to play, but these people want to hear this kind of music.
Absolutely, dude. So, I think you guys will win like that, man. That's the way to do it, is like having songs in the set list that you like might not even love playing anymore, but everybody there is going to have a good time. That's the crowd serving mentality that bands win with. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that'll set you all apart, man. So I love to hear that.
Absolutely.
Totally. So I guess if you had to, well, it's hard to say, I guess. Genre's tough and it doesn't really matter too much, but if you had to pick one, what kind of band would you say you were?
I'd probably say just straight rock and roll.
Totally, man. I think that's a great answer. Yeah.
With a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything, but mostly rock and roll.
Jam, funk, rock, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Nice, man. Well, that's cool. Did I read this wrong? Or I think you might have told me there's a few horns in the band at this point, right? Or do they just feature sometimes?
So we were able to get a gig at Sky Bar in the fall.
That's exciting.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's so much fun. The sound guy there, Keith, he's awesome. He's the coolest guy ever. But we got a gig at Sky Bar, and Mitch, doing All-State Jazz Band, knew a horn player, alto sax player. His name is Zach Bronson. Very good.
Wow.
But he goes to Loyola School of Music in New Orleans. Okay. And Mitch rang him up and said, "Hey, we have this gig. Would you be down to play?" And Zach was all for it. He was like, "Yes, I'm gonna get a trombone." It was Zach, Will, and Jake. And Will played baritone sax, and Jake played trombone. Mm-hmm. So those 3 joined us on stage at Sky Bar. It was a lot of fun, and they will be joining us for some shows that I can't really say out loud right now because we're announcing them in January. But they will be joining us on, I think, 1 or 2 shows.
That's exciting, man. What did you think? I'm sorry. What did you think about the whole like horn experience? Because like when I see a band with horns, I'm like, all right, this is about to be a party kind of. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, at first I was kind of against it because I felt like it was going to take away, something of our sound. But those guys are so talented; they know when to lay back and they know when to really come in.
Oh yeah, totally.
So we only practiced with them for an hour before the show.
Nice.
And they absolutely killed it. We gave them a set list. We gave them a Google Doc. We basically ran through like all the songs, how they're going to play it, how we want them to play it. And they literally executed perfectly. They were the most cool guys ever. Horns. I think everybody should play a set with horns because it is a party.
I love that, man.
It's a party.
All those guys that are going to school for that kind of stuff, they just live that shit, man. They can do anything.
They can do anything.
The hell out of it.
It's awesome.
Respect it, man. Any thoughts of like getting them in the band officially, or is it just like a when they can kind of thing?
I think if we do decide to really take off, and if this was to become our profession, like if we were if we were a really big band right now, like actually playing a lot of big North American shows and stuff, absolutely, I would at least like to have a trumpet player and a saxophone player.
Totally.
That would be probably, that'd be awesome because I love horns.
Yeah. Would there be any preference though? It seems like the sax would be the most obvious one to have if you could just have one, right? Would you say?
I think so. I think so.
It makes me think of like do you know Huey Lewis and the News? You know what I'm talking about? They sing a bunch of songs in that what's that movie? Back to the Future. But anyways,
yeah.
They're a big saxophone group from the 80s, and they're just a ton of fun from what I heard from my mother when she saw them back then. Anyways, when I see a band with horns, I get excited. I'm like, all right, this is a party. This isn't going to be somber down music. This is going to be a good time,
Yeah, it was a good time.
And how did Sky Bar do for you guys? Like, I hate to say career-wise, but was it like a big jump from like playing an apartment complex, like playing the biggest bar in Auburn? with what, 1,000 people there every night, 700 people.
Yeah, around 600-700 people. Whew. Yeah. It definitely, our shows were increasing a lot after Skybar. We were starting to get recognized by a lot more people.
That's
especially
awesome.
Out of state. We played, we were able to go to Oxford, Mississippi, and play 2 shows there.
What venue did you play? Or bar?
We just played fraternity parties. I think we played
sick.
Sigma Chi and Sigma Nu up there. Huge parties. It was a lot of fun. But Skybar really did let the shows, they started coming in pretty quick. But also what it did, it was like it really opened our eyes. Like, okay, this is awesome. Playing in front of this many people. Like, let's keep grinding so we can get more shows like this.
So you can do that every night, right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So interesting. So it seems kind of, just as someone from Athens who really doesn't know that much about Auburn, but it seems like Skybar is the totem venue in town. Like, if you're not playing Skybar and you're from Auburn, like, that's kind of the spot, right? Isn't it?
It is the spot.
Okay. And what is it about it that makes it the best bar in Auburn? I'm just curious, being somebody from Athens.
Yeah. Well, Skybar, it is massive. It is like a labyrinth. You get lost in that place, especially, if you've had a little too much to drink, you get lost. It's a big place. And when we set up at 3 p.m., like in the middle of the day.
Okay.
And, they have their own sound equipment. Keith, the sound guy, was able to do all the sound check for us, but we were able to walk around that place during the day. And it took me like 20 minutes to walk around the entire bar.
Wow.
Yeah. Crap. It's massive. And there's like this, you walk in, you have your traditional bar room, and then there's this like little walkway, you go back, and there's the boom room. That's where all the big bands play. That's where we played. And then like to the left is an outside part. And then you go up a flight of stairs. There's a bar right there. And then you go up another flight, and then there's a patio bar. And then there's another bar on the other side of the patio bar.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a really big place. And a lot of people say like, oh, Auburn only has 3 bars, which they do, 17, South, and Skybar. But Skybar is like, it feels like to me like 4 bars put in one.
So you guys have 7 bars.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like to refer to Skybar as about 4 or 5.
Every picture I see of it is packed to the rim, man. So it seems like the spot. But that's cool. Tell me a little bit about 1716 and Southeastern. You guys have played there a few times, right?
We have not played at Southeastern, but we've played at 1716 countless times. 17 is a really fun place to play. It's a great atmosphere as a bar. The outside patio place is so cool to play at. It's like a long stretch. So your drummer's going to be right next to you. We play like Coleman is right here, me, Mitch, and Nick. So we're all on a line.
Totally.
That place is really fun place to play. I've seen a bunch of bands at South. The Stews have played there multiple times. South is a really cool venue. It's just like so much reverb. It's meant for a DJ. It really is. It's meant for like a booming DJ. But the bands that come to there are a lot of fun. I saw a really good Allman Brothers cover band there. They're called Eat a Peach.
Really?
They were like down to a T. They were awesome.
Interesting. So do you guys get a lot of touring bands through Auburn?
A
little bit.
If we do, they're going to come through Skybar.
Okay, that makes sense.
If they do, they're going to come through Skybar.
Interesting. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the name of the band. Where did the Plains come from, man?
Okay. So we were all together. This was before we had a drummer. And we were like, all right, well, if we're going to get a show at 17, we're going to need to have a name.
Totally.
We thought about it for a little bit, and we decided on the Plains because the Plains, people refer to Auburn as the Plains.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you ever hear anybody refer to Auburn like as the Plains, I don't really know why, but like one of our 4 mascots are the Plainsmen.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have so many: the tiger, the eagle, the war eagle, the plainsman. But so we got the band name from the Plains. It was easy. I felt like, if people were to hear the Plains, they think of Auburn, and it automatically associates us with Auburn.
That's awesome. So it's a point of you guys to like, you're proud to be from Auburn. You want to be an Auburn band and make it as an Auburn band, kind of.
Absolutely. I have a lot of pride in it because, we're not like Atlanta or Athens that have bands pumping out all the time. I think the only bands that I can really think of in Auburn right now there's a band called The Posers, Queen of Kings Band, us, The Stews, and Supper Club. And that's it.
I've heard of you guys, the Stews and Supper Club. So I mean, there's a lot of you guys bubbling out of there, which is exciting. You know, I love to see new towns kind of doing it.
Oh yeah, we're trying.
Not that it's a new town, but like, you know what I mean? You love to just see like the Stews are absolutely murdering it right now. They're kind of
absolutely
just going all over the place. Good for them.
Oh yeah.
And I love to hear about any towns that are booming. Have you guys have played Clemson, correct? I see you wearing the Clemson sweater.
Yeah. So we're going to Loose Change in March. So that'll be our first time that we're playing in Clemson.
I think you guys would really love that. I know I already told you that, but it's a fun town. It kind of doesn't remind me of Auburn because it's smaller, I think, but in the same way of like you hear a few bands bubbling out, but it's not like Atlanta or Athens or Nashville. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I think some of the towns like Clemson and Auburn and Tuscaloosa are really cool towns that have good music bubbling out that just need to be kind of heard more. That's why I want to do this so that people can hear about you guys from Athens, you know, and go see you guys at the 40 Watt.
Absolutely. Yeah. The 40 Watt's coming up February 17th.
That is official, right? It's okay to announce that one?
That is official. It has been announced. I think the only two that we have announced on our Instagram is Loose Change and 40 Watt. And we have a bunch more dates to announce.
Awesome, man. So what's the scope on that? Is it like, I know you might have said one of you guys is from Athens or you know somebody in Athens? Like what makes you want to come play here when you don't know many people kind of?
So our drummer that played that one show, the apartment show with us, Charlie, is at Georgia, but I'm from Columbus, Georgia, and a lot of people from Columbus that went to my high school, a bunch of them went to UGA.
Sweet. So you have some people down here, some roots.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Well, that's exciting, man. You guys are you guys where are you at on that bill? Are you in the middle? You headlining or opening?
We're trying. So we have another band right now, and I think they want to open for us. So we're kind of in the middle, I guess. But we would love to headline, and I think it would be hard for us to headline since not a lot of people like know us, but a lot of people do know of us in Athens since a lot of our friends, you know, go to UGA, live up in Athens. So
yeah, dude, that's exciting. Well, you guys are off. That's a hell of a start right there. 40 Watts is probably the best venue in Athens right now, arguably. I love playing there. Good sound, good lights, everything. You'll have a good time there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. What was the date on that again?
February 17th.
February 17th. So everybody listening in is gonna have to check that. We have a lot of most of our followings from Athens, so hopefully this will do good for you guys.
Good deal.
What else about that? Tell me about you've been doing fraternity events everywhere. It seems like Oxford, Auburn. I think I saw Georgia Tech. Is that right? A bunch of fraternity.
Tech. Yeah, we did Georgia Tech. We've done Georgia Tech twice.
Cool. SAE or something or
SAE. Yeah, that's right.
Nice. Cool. And what's are you guys like in Greek life or is there a specific reason you're doing Greek life events?
So we are in Greek life.
Awesome.
But I think the reason that we enjoy doing them the most, because, you know, a bar gig is sometimes like hit or miss. You know, maybe like a big fraternity might have a party on a Friday night, which everybody's going to. And if you're playing on a Friday night, there might not be a lot of people there.
Totally.
But when you're playing at a fraternity event, you know that there's going to be people there.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people. And our fraternity, I think Coleman, his favorite show ever is we played at Auburn KA for one of their big weekends. And there were so many people there and their barn was filled with sand because it was like a Hawaiian themed party and their barn was filled with sand. And so we had our subs and we were like, we're not putting these subs on the ground. So we put them on top of the stage and everybody front row had to almost be like deaf by the end of the night because those subs were just like in their ears.
That's hilarious.
But our fraternity parties that we've played at, they've been so much fun.
Yeah, because I mean they paid for you to come, so there's going to be people there. It's not like there's going to be 4 people and they paying you a good amount of money to come out. You know,
absolutely.
I think that's hilarious that they filled the ground with sand for the Hawaiian party. That's going
trust me. When we were setting up, I was like, okay, this is a sandbox. Like, but it's like a sandbox the size of like half a football field. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Pretty wild.
What is the Greek life scene in Auburn like? Because I don't really know very much about Auburn, and I'm kind of like trying to get the scope on it because Athens has just a ton of fraternities and events and stuff. Is it the same there?
Yeah, it's about the same.
Okay, cool.
You know, it's pretty big in Auburn, and a lot of fraternities, a lot of sororities, a lot of people are involved in Greek life. So
awesome, man. Well, sweet. Have you guys done any is there anywhere to play in town if you want to do like a bill, you know, like 3 bands? Like have you guys open for anybody or?
So I don't think so, but what I do think is going to happen soon is I think if Auburn keeps having musicians come up and play as bands or play as groups, or, even it's just like a solo acoustic show. I think they're almost going to have to bring a lot. If they want to bring a lot of people in on like a Thursday night, I think, these bars like 17 and South, that'd be awesome for them to do.
Yeah, it'd be sick, man. Have three bands.
Yeah. If Auburn keeps growing like it is, like musically, I think definitely in the next 3 to 4 years, something will definitely happen with 17 or South, or even Skybar. Maybe I could definitely see Skybar doing like a 3-band bill and a boom boom room like once a week.
Yeah,
it'd bring a lot of music lovers in.
I think so, and get some different crowds mixing together. Everybody play for an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, absolutely.
Give everybody a little time to go. Is there like a central hub? Like, I guess it'd be Auburn University, of course, is where everybody. But like, is there like a central hub for music? Like, do you guys have like a rehearsal space where everybody practices at, or like somewhere that you guys kind of like congregate, or no?
Yeah, so we do. We either practice at my fraternity house, which is the Fiji house at Auburn, or we practice at the SAE house at Auburn. And Nick is an SAE, and me and Coleman are Fijis. So,
okay, interesting, man.
Yeah.
So I imagine that gives you guys a lot of room to practice in there. Or pretty good.
It does. Yeah, we're able to set up, literally everything. If we want to, like, if maybe there's something wrong with our board or something that, we haven't been doing correctly using our board, or we need to, maybe change some things with like monitor mixes, we'll definitely go and set that up and run through it. Like, we're going to be playing a show, so we can get everything that we need to fix. If something goes wrong during a show that usually goes right, we're able to set everything up like sound wise and be able to be like, okay, well, this is what happened with this. So
gotcha, man. That's very smart right there. I wonder how much the brothers like it. How loud is it in there?
They like it. A lot of them ask us to practice. They say, come practice.
Do they?
Yeah.
I imagine they're practice. They're sitting around drinking a few beers, getting that free show in, right?
Absolutely.
Well, that's awesome, man. Let's see. What can you tell me a little more about? Anything in particular on the band, like ambitious wise? Like, what are you guys looking to do this upcoming semester? You mentioned you have a lot of shows coming. Are there new markets you're trying to break into? Are you trying to go everywhere? Are you trying to go tri-state? What are you kind of thinking for the future?
We're really just trying to go, as many places as we can go that people are not familiar with us. So, I will say this, we will be traveling to Birmingham during the spring tour.
Ooh, nice.
I can't really say where yet, but we are going to Birmingham. People will, I want to try to get us, over to Birmingham, UAB. Birmingham has a great music scene.
Totally.
We're obviously going to Athens. We're going to Clemson. We're trying to, go some other places in Georgia. Yeah, I can't announce that. We're really just trying to spread, our music as far out from Auburn as we can. And we're still playing we're going to be playing a lot of Auburn shows still, but we want to try to bring as many people to us before we release music out. So, people are able to listen to us. And I think once we do end up releasing music, a lot more people are going to be like, okay, well, this band's, legit. They're credible. They have original music that's on Spotify and that's on Apple Music. And so we're basically just trying to really take our music outside of Auburn and, kind of Alabama, that small little circle, and blow it up pretty big.
That's very smart. I love to hear that you're breaking into some other college markets kind of. I think that's very smart.
Oh yeah.
What was I going to say about that? I'd say that's the best thing you could do. You're kind of like building an audience for when your music does come out. You have somebody to listen to it, right?
Oh yeah, we're trying.
Totally. And any plan on the music? Like, are you guys in the studio? You gonna be in the studio?
Yeah. So the next week, we're actually going to Birmingham and recording a bunch of music, and hopefully sometime, I'd probably say a little bit before summer is when we're gonna try to release. I don't even think any of us know if we're going to either release like a single early and then release the EP in the summer. But we have a lot of songs that I'd say right now we have like 4 songs that are fully formed. And then we have about like 7 that just, we've either written riffs or we've written drum lines, or we have, ideas up here that we haven't really branched off at, because when you're playing a lot of shows and stuff, we haven't really had time to really sit down and like work on these songs. And I think a bunch of our songs have developed from playing shows. Some things will change in these songs, or, we end up adding a bridge, or, we end up doing things differently. But yeah, we're going to be in the studio very soon.
What
next
studio?
Week. So Mitch, our drummer, he and his dad have recorded so much stuff in their little basement studio they have. It's legit.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
They have a lot of cool stuff. Like they have monitors down there and everything. They have all the mics. And so
that's exciting, man.
Yeah. It's going to be really exciting.
I think that'll take you guys to the next level, sort of just like having something for people to listen to and for venues to hear. And I think that's cool that you're doing it in like a basement vibe. Like you don't have to worry about being on the clock. You don't have to worry about being in weird environments. Like you guys can chill and really try to catch it.
We really can. And I think that's what's going to be really good for us, because I want to be able to keep a good vibe, because we do go to Mitch's house all the time in practice. And the fact that we're going to be recording in our practice space is going to be really easy. It's going to be easy going. And a lot of ideas have flown from that area. So I feel like we're going to be able to expand on a lot of things when we get down there.
That couldn't be more ideal, man. You guys can be comfortable in there. You've heard it. You know how the room sounds. That's going to be great. And when you guys are writing these kind of songs, is there like a specific process? Like, do you guys start jamming on something? Does somebody bring the lyrics in? Like, do you guys have a process yet?
So I will say the lyrics come last on everything that we've written so far.
Nice.
And I write most of the lyrics, but Nick has brought some lyrics to the table that I've actually liked. But I think it usually starts with Nick. Nick is like I said, he is actually phenomenal on guitar.
Okay.
And he comes up with these, these little triads or whatever, and, these cool little melodies. And then we kind of build off of, these triads or these melodies that he's creating. And then Mitch, like I said, he's just a phenomenal multi-instrumentalist. He'll either grab my guitar, Coleman's bass, or a bass that he has in his basement or something, and start adding on to it. And then, like an hour later, we'll have a general idea of a verse and a chorus. And then, I'll go back home and look through, because I have all these like lyrics in my notes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's almost just like, if you looked at my notes, you'd just think like I'm a poet, because I'm like trying to rhyme and I'm trying to write lyrics, and I have these ideas of the lyrics. But, sometimes it's like so hard to find. I'm almost a perfectionist when it comes to lyrics and songs. I like lyrics to fit the mood of a song, and
100%.
I don't know. I'm weird about it.
That's good, man.
Yeah. I've changed the lyrics. We have one song called No Time to Waste. And I've changed the lyrics in the second verse, I think like 10 times, because I can't.
Wow.
I can't really get a grip on, the lyrics. And I think when I go to the studio, I'm going to have to pick that second verse. I'm going to definitely have to pick it, and I'm going to have to go with it. But
at least you have options, man.
I have options. Yes.
I'd say I don't, not that I'm in any position to give you advice. I just say, don't let it hold you back from getting that song out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like I'd still just love to hear it with whatever version.
Oh yeah.
That's exciting, man. I'm glad. It seems like if you guys have, like you said, 4 done and 7 kind of in the tank, you should be pretty geared up to have, 11 songs out in the next year or two. That's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're looking to do.
Have you guys had any trouble per se? Like maybe like sending, like reaching out to venues and them not wanting to book you because you had no originals?
Yes. So that is also why that we are kind of pushing the dates back on our spring tour. So we were going to try to release the dates on New Year's, but we were going to, there's 2 venues right now that are asking us to send them demos, not even master. They just want to hear us play. It doesn't sound like it's on like an iPhone recording.
Absolutely.
So that it's caused a little bit of trouble, but I don't know. I sometimes kind of have to add, like we haven't really had the access to it, and we're also students. So it kind of, we're not doing this, completely full time, even though we would like to, like, I don't know. It's
you guys are so early in the process, dude. I wouldn't worry about that one bit. You've been a band for 6 months?
6
months.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. Most people, some people go years without figuring it out.
Yeah.
The fact that you guys have 4 songs done in 6 months is impressive, dude.
Yeah.
So just keep grinding on that, man. And I'm excited to hear them, dude. Honestly, I'm hoping I can catch y'all at the 40 watt. I think we might be in Birmingham that night. I haven't decided, or we haven't locked it in as well. But if I can make it, I'd love to hear from all the bandmates. I'd love to get you all in here to do an episode.
Absolutely. That'd be a lot of fun.
I think you guys are going to enjoy Athens while you're here. It's a fun town to be in for the weekend.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. Well, that's great, man. Tell me a little more about like singing. You said that your singing has kind of improved. Has that just been a product of doing it? Do you know what I mean? Like just singing live?
It's definitely been a product of me doing it. And it's definitely been a product of me making sure. I used to always like on stage, I'd drink a couple beers or whatnot. I can't do that anymore. It kind of
like, dries you out, right?
Yeah. I can drink maybe 1 or 2, but I need to like immediately supplement that in with water as soon as I've had that beer.
Totally.
Because ever since I got my tonsils out, like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I got my tonsils out back in like February or March. And ever since then, I get dried out really easily in my throat. Really? So I have to drink a lot of water.
Yeah, dude. That's one of those things that, you're like you're saying, you kind of learn it through doing it. Like I used to be the same way. Like, oh, you get your 2 drink tabs when you play a venue, and you get those beers. And after song 1, it's like, God, I should not have drank that. I am slam dry right now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You can't. My problem is like some songs we do, like "Miss You" by the Rolling Stones. You have that. They have that falsetto song. Part.
Yeah.
If I've been drinking, I can't hit that falsetto because I'm dry.
So I miss you. That's a great song.
I've always have to hydrate, but yeah.
Actually, I have an off-topic question on that one, dude. Have you ever heard people refer to that Stones album as the disco album?
No, I've not.
I had a few buddies were telling me that calling "Miss You" the disco Stones album. I was like, dude, it just sounds like rock to me, man. Like
it does.
I mean, maybe a little disco flair there, but like
I can hear the disco drum beat.
Yeah, maybe so.
I can hear the drum beat, but other than that, no.
Yeah, I'm about to say like "Beast of Burden" and a few other songs around there. I was like, yeah, that's just rock, brothers.
That's rock. That's early rock and roll right there.
I love that, man. Anyways, I appreciate you answering that, clearing that up for me.
Absolutely.
What else was that? Tell me anything that you wanted to tell me. Like, did you have anything in mind about the band that you kind of wanted to get across in this interview? Anything that you'd like people to know about you guys?
One thing that I want a lot of people to know is I love to satisfy people.
Yeah.
Like when we play, I love to, ask people before we play, like, is there any songs that like, y'all want to hear? Because there have been times where we have literally been on stage and we've heard, somebody say like, oh, y'all need to play this. And I turn around and look at Mitch and I'm like, you know this? And he's like, I think.
kind of.
And, sometimes it hasn't worked out, but sometimes it has worked out. But I think even to show people that you're giving it a shot, really, people like to see that.
I think so, man.
People like to see that you're trying. People like to see that you're giving it your all. And good stage presence.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. And you've got to look like you're having fun on stage, because if people see you and they see you having fun on stage, they're going to have a lot of fun with you.
Yeah, man, that's so true. Like nobody wants to see anybody up there being not
stiff.
Confident. You know what I mean?
Stiff.
Yeah, like this.
Really stiff. Just
I love to hear you guys talking about stage presence. That's smart. And just your whole mindset about like serving the audience instead of yourself. That's like the best thing you could have, man, honestly. Yeah, and have you had any tough nights though? I've had a few, more than once, just playing in like neutral crowds per se, where you're just getting hammered with requests. And it's like, oh God, we can't play everything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. There was, I don't think I want to say where this was.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But we did play one show and there was a group of girls up front. And all the requests and all the requests, and they were just like, gosh, this guy's a dick, like he's not accepting. I finally, like, as soon as we got done with our first set, like I like went up to him like really nicely, and I was just like, hey, like I really do wish we could play these songs, because y'all seem to be having fun, but I feel like y'all be having a lot more fun if y'all were listening to these songs. But I'm not a jukebox.
Yeah. Everybody thinks you can just play everything, man. You know what I mean?
I'm not a jukebox. Even though I wish I was, I wish I could control the entire band at sometimes and wish that everybody knew the song. I mean, even if I know the song, I might turn around and be like, do y'all know this song? And if they say no, I'm like, okay, that's fine. And there have been times where like I've been broken out and I'm looking at them like, hey, it's just GFC. It's just GFC. Like go along with it. And they all get mad at me. And that's happened like once or twice, but we've gotten over that stage. That was really early on. But yeah, there have been multiple nights that we've had where people have just hammering us with requests. And then you obviously have the Freebird request.
Always. Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's smart that you're trying to do some of them as well and just saying you can on some, because I found a good way to do it, or most of the time, is just be like, oh, that's a great song, but we don't know it, man. You know what I mean?
That is a good response.
Like compliment them and then be like, nope, we can't, you'll get the most obscure requests. You know what I mean? And like,
oh yeah,
the ones that annoy me the most, not that I'm hating on the crowds or anything, but like when you're like an obvious type of band and they're requesting like genres that are like way out of your sphere. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we're like playing rockin' songs and they're like, play some Tim McGraw. It's like, what? Yeah. Like, do we look like that kind of band?
It doesn't add up. It just simply doesn't add up.
But at the end of the day, they're just having a good time. So I can't hate on them too much. But I love to hear that you're kind of open to it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite cover you guys play? Personally?
Oh, wow.
Or top three? Or
Move On Up by Curtis Mayfield.
Oh, nice. Definitely. Okay. That's cool.
So we originally played that song once with the horns. Mm-hmm. And after that, we were kind of like, all right, well, let's only play this song with the horns because it's a very horn heavy song. Yeah. Because you have that da 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 da. Yeah. So I sat down in my apartment before we played one gig and I learned that horn part on guitar.
Okay.
And I added it into the set list and they were like, why are we playing this song? I'm like, just trust me, Yeah. So we went into it and I was playing the horn parts on guitar and everybody loves that song because it has that fast beat. And actually it's funny. The SEC college basketball commercial is that song.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that.
It is now Move On Up because I was at lunch a couple of days ago and I heard it and I was like, is Move On Up playing over the, like some restaurants will have like music playing, but no, it was actually the TV playing Move On Up by Curtis Mayfield. But I love his music. His music is awesome. He's definitely the influence of me for like the funky stuff.
Yeah.
Especially Pusher Man by Curtis Mayfield is like one of my favorite songs.
I wouldn't have guessed you said that, man. That's a good answer.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. That's crazy, man. Funny you say that about ESPN. We were a little story about my band right quick, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely.
We were playing Paloma Park for the SEC championship because we're Athens-based band. So we kind of got to play one of the better venues in town for that game. And it was just packed, man. There was 700 people there.
Yeah.
And ESPN was there. They were like, hey, man, can you call the Dogs? I was like, hell yeah, we can call the Dogs. He's like, we want to get y'all playing a song too. So I called the Dogs, 700 people screaming it back. They're like, oh, we got chills. This is the best footage ever. And they're like, you're going to be on ESPN tomorrow. I was like, let's go. This will be awesome. Cool. And then we lost, bro, and they didn't play it.
Oh,
I was like, oh, man, talk about a double-edged sword.
Yeah, really. You get all hyped up for nothing.
I know. If we'd have won, that should have been on there, man.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I'd say another good conversation topic is like influences.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Nobody's really asked me the question, but now that I'm talking about influences, I kind of do want to touch on that.
Please do.
I'd probably say my influences when I first started playing guitar were John Frusciante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. For sure.
What a great player, man.
Yeah, he was the main influence of me starting. So now, it's like Marcus King is unbelievable. He is
so great.
He is probably the most tasteful and like soulful player of like the modern day. Currently, he's absolutely unbelievable.
He's selling things out everywhere, man.
Yeah. So Marcus King obviously is my current influence. John Mayer. John Mayer. I think why he's my biggest influence is like he is so technical about gear, and I'm a pedal board freak.
Are you?
Yes, I am I spend so much time like researching pedals. It's like a nerd. I'm a nerd about it. I'm crazy about my guitar tone and how my guitar is set up and tone and everything. But John Mayer, I think, has literally touched on everything. And why I say everything is his new album is like, it's called Sob Rock.
I love it, man.
Yeah. If you look at Sob backwards, it's 80s rock.
Yes, dude. Yes.
So that's why that he created it, because it has that 80s Clapton feel. It has a bunch of those synths. And, you know, he even did in 2003 or 2004, Steve Jordan, and Pino Palladino went on a trio.
Trio.
John Mayer literally did, I think, 2 years only doing trio blues, like B.B. King, covering B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, even some blues things that he wrote. But I think John Mayer has like, he's inspired a lot of guitarists my age.
Oh yeah.
To play. And you know, you look on Instagram and like, if you know, you're a guitar player, you know, you're a musician, you know, you go to the explore page on Instagram. I feel like 25% of the videos I watch are people playing John Mayer songs and people playing the PRS Silver Sky, what, you know, John Mayer is now playing instead of the Strat. He isn't like it, totally inspired and totally recreated the game for all these people. And he's also playing with Dead and Company.
Yeah.
Grateful Dead, you know, relived. Like he's playing what, and he's filling one of the biggest shoes you could probably fill, and that's Jerry Garcia's role in the Dead.
Totally.
He's playing all the crazy licks that Jerry plays, and it's awesome. But yeah, so currently it's John Mayer and Marcus King.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. John, people don't realize that he's literally like the Eddie Van Halen or Jimi Hendrix of our era. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of our guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's been my number one most listened artist on Spotify for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I have a hot take. A few people agreed and disagreed with me. I think Battle Studies is one of his most slept on records, man. Do you like Battle Studies?
Absolutely. So Battle Studies was the one that he did a Crossroads cover on, right?
Yes. And it's got like Heartbreak Warfare and Half My Heart. And
is Helpless on there?
Helpless. I actually don't. I'm not that familiar with that one.
Heartbreak Warfare, that was such a cool song.
Such a great song, and I don't think it gets enough credit because it's the one right after Continuum, you know. So there's no way you can live up to that. But I'm glad to hear that you like him because he's one of my favorite artists too, man. And I don't know if you've heard this, but he's playing with headphones on stage now. Yeah.
Okay, so he's playing with the Audio Technica headphones on stage.
That's crazy.
His in-ears were giving him some ear problems.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there was a thing on Reddit. I love Reddit for all the guitar stuff.
Yeah.
There was a thread on Reddit where his in-ear monitors, I don't think they were working properly, and they were damaging his ear canals because they were going so far in. You know, he has like certain, you know, they mold your ears and stuff.
Totally.
And I think something was going wrong. And so now, you know, he wore them, I think, for like 2 shows, and then finally came out and said they're just a lot more comfier. And you know, he's like, they may not look as cool on stage, but I think they look awesome.
I think it's a statement, man.
Yeah, he can rock it. But I love that he is, you know, he's just totally blown so many people out of the water with his music.
Yeah, man. He's got heavy roots in Athens. I don't know how much you know about this, but like he played 40 Watt back in the day. You should go listen to it on YouTube. It's just him and a bass player, and he sounds like nervous, kind of like a little bit more frantic than we know him now, you know, like very unsure of himself kind of. So it's a good listen if you get a chance.
Yeah, they're in Smith's old bar.
Oh yeah.
He played at Smith's a bunch with David Ryan Harris.
Absolutely.
You know, and Steve Jordan.
Absolutely. Played Georgia Theater in Athens a lot, man. He recorded his first demos for like Not Your Body, but what's the whole first acoustic record. He demoed those in Watkinsville.
No Such Thing.
Yeah.
No Such Thing. I want to run through the
halls of my Do you have a favorite John record? Hard to say. I like all of them, honestly.
It's really hard to say. I think you know, my favorite album, and I think if you're a really big John Mayer listener, is the Live in LA.
Oh my God, dude. In Your Atmosphere?
Yes.
Bro, Your Atmosphere. Yes.
I have the box set on a record. Yeah.
Free Fallin'.
Free Fallin'. I think his guitar tone that year when he was running, he had a Ibanez TS10, the Keeley Katana, and the Marshall Blues Breaker, the pedal, not the amp, but the pedal.
Okay.
And all his solos were those 3 pedals all combined. And
really?
They like the belief from that is unbelievable.
I love that song.
And Gravity from that show is unbelievable. Who Do You Think I Was in the Power of Soul? Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yes.
And a lot of people, like a lot of like tone nerds and geek nerds think, you know, I don't know if you've ever heard, but the Klon, the pedal, the big silver pedal.
I don't think so.
All right. So there's this whole like thing, and there's a Klon. It's called a Klon. It's called a Klon Centaur. It's a pedal that's like that big. And some dude named Bill Finnegan created him. He went to MIT and created this guitar pedal on the side. And so anyway, he stopped making them. And as soon as John Mayer put one on his board in like 2009, everybody freaked out and started buying them. So now this pedal's worth like $4,000 on Reverb.
Ooh, wow.
$4,000 pedal.
Jeez.
But people thought that show was recorded with the Klon, but it wasn't. It was a blues breaker. Yeah, I'm such a nerd about like tone and stuff.
I love that, man.
Yeah. I love pedal boards. I love looking at them. I love building them for people.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's awesome.
Dude, I'm glad live in LA. I'm glad you love that. The quality of that record, dude, it sounds like they're in the studio, bro. It sounds amazing, bro.
I know. They killed it. They killed it.
I'm always trying to force people on In Your Atmosphere. I'm like, dude, they never recorded it. It's just live in LA. You got to go listen. You got to go listen.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool.
Man. Tell me a little bit. We got a few more minutes left. So tell me a little bit about like pedal board, like what you got running. Like, I'm just curious as a gear guy myself, what you kind of got.
Of course. So from my guitar, it goes into a Boss TU3 tuner.
Okay.
And then it goes into the Klon. So I don't have the actual one. I have a clone.
Copy. Yeah.
A copy of it. I run into a Tube Screamer, the 9DX. So it's the TS9, but it's the deluxe. It has 4 knobs instead of 3.
Okay.
I run into a Vemurem Janray. They make those in Japan. They're a boutique pedal. I run into the Qtron Plus.
I've heard of that.
And then after that, I run into just a straight boost. It's a Keeley Katana. It's a boost.
Nice.
And then I have a Strymon Lex, which is a Leslie speaker clone. If you ever heard of a Leslie, a bunch of organ players use one. And then that goes into an Aquapus delay, and then Strymon Flint, which is a dual channel trim and reverb, and then back into my deluxe reverb amp.
Totally. Are you running any reverb off your amp? Or you just using all pedals?
I think I run my amp on 2.5 on reverb. Okay. And I turn that reverb on my Strymon Flint to where, like, you know, I'm trying to think. Time by Pink Floyd. It has a lot of reverb, and that's that last solo. That's kind of the reverb I have on that reverb stomp. And I use some of it, like if I want to do like an ambient, like really like air filling guitar tone.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like picking at some chords with, I'll use that too. But mostly I use the trim on that, the tremolo on that. Like I'll turn my Strymon Lex on and I'll get like a really cool wobbly chorus tone.
Have you had any trouble as a singer being at like not having time to like click on stuff like pedal wise, or like not being like, oh, I wish I'd have got to that, or is it a lot to handle? Because I've kind of had that a little bit.
Sometimes it is, especially since my pedal board is like really neat and they're all kind of close together. Sometimes I might push a wrong pedal or two, but I usually, what I do is I kind of make sure I know what the song is. I kind of have the song in the back of my mind. I know when I'm going to push these pedals. I know when I'm going to turn these pedals on. I know like when I'm going to turn them off. I know when to roll the volume knob. Like I said, I'm so particular. It's not really a problem for me because I know exactly when these pedals are going to be engaged and when they're not.
Awesome. Easy. Well, that's smart, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great. Well, that's a great breakdown. Let's say for just closing notes, you kind of tell me what you'd want the people to know about the band for 2022. Like what should they expect? Just like a quick, like get ready for this. And then we'll sign off of this thing, man.
Oh yeah. So I would say definitely look out for our spring tour. We're going to be hitting a bunch of major cities in the Southeast.
Exciting.
Oh yeah. We're going to be hitting a bunch of major cities in the Southeast, and summer. Not a lot of people are going to be in college towns in the summer. So we're going to try to hit places that, aren't really the college town central places. We're going to be trying to play in Atlanta and some bigger bars in Atlanta. We're going to try to land a gig at Smith's Old Bar. We're trying to do that now. We're going to try to be playing as many places as we can in the summer to really spread it more than our spring tour. And also everybody just needs to be on the lookout for our music. The Plains, our EP is coming out this summer.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So that is basically what everybody needs to be on the lookout for. And I hope to see all you guys out there.
Absolutely, man. That's exciting. I think you're a very smart guy. I think you guys got it going on. I'm excited to see you guys personally, man. And just you're saying all the right things, like not playing colleges in the summer. That's smart. Playing colleges in the spring, you know. You got music working. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the Plains do, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Go ahead and tell everybody you guys' Instagram handle and where they can find you guys' stuff.
Yeah. So our Instagram is at the Plains Band. You can, if you want to book us, DM us there. Our email is at the plainsbandauburn@gmail.com.
Beautiful, man.
And our Twitter is also the Plains Band at Auburn.
Nice. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for suggesting the Zoom. This was good. It worked pretty nicely other than my one Wi-Fi issue, but
no problem. Thank you for having me. I've been listening to you now for about a week. I've loved the podcast. I've always loved podcasts. I've always wanted to be on. So this is cool.
Awesome, man. You did a great job. You're a natural at it. You have a good radio voice.
Appreciate it.
Well, and when you guys come to Athens, let's get all you fellas in here and do one, man.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
All right, man. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been the Jameson on the Rocks podcast. I believe this is episode 61 or somewhere in there. But yeah, thank you, man. See you later.
Of course. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.
And I can't sleep until I feel yours.